Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over hip mobility made simple and easy, okay? So with mobility, I know it's usually, people usually aren't too interested in it. It's hard to get started with it. So like when somebody broke it down like this to me, it just made it much more simple, much more easy. And I don't know, it made me jumpstart my mobility journey, okay? So the way it was broken down to me is there's four main parts of the hips, okay? We got the front of the hips, the back of the hips, the inside of the hips, and the outside of the hips. So all we're gonna do is pick one stretch, just one stretch for each of those areas. One really good stretch that we can progress in over time and get better at, and we can make it tougher by adding weight to it or adding more depth to it or more elevation to certain exercises. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's ways to increase the challenge of these specific stretches for these specific areas of the hips. So we don't have to think about, yo, I saw that hip exercise there, that hip exercise there, that hip, and you're thinking of all these different exercises and you just kind of like get paralysis by analysis. You're like, what do I do? What do I do? There's so much to do and you feel overwhelmed, okay? So this made it not overwhelming for me. I just picked one stretch, one good stretch for each specific area of the hips, and we just grind it out, get better at it over time. So I just got back from the gym and I'm gonna show you what I did today, okay? I'm gonna show you the stretches that I do for each part of the hips and how I progress with it. And yeah, it's amazing. You know, hip mobility is just essential for life. You know, if you wanna be an athlete, obviously you're gonna need your fucking hips because the hips is just like this center point of fucking power and, you know, energy and alignment. You know, everything goes through the hips. If your hips are out of whack, your whole body's out of whack. If your hips are fucked up, you can't squat. If your hips are fucked up, you're not walking good. So just for wellness, daily life, hip mobility is for you. You know, it's gonna make your life better. It's gonna make you a better athlete. It's gonna make everything better, okay? Because if you're physically feeling good, you're not stressed, feeling pain when you're walking, you're mentally feeling good too. You know, you're feeling better. So let's get you into this new body. You know, it's 2025. Let's fucking start this mobility work, okay? Let's get our bodies strong, mobile, flexible, so our vehicles of life feel good to be in, okay? Our bodies feel good to be in, all right? Let me show you. I'm gonna show you the exercises and I'll voice it over as I go, all right? Let's do it. Hey you guys, so we're gonna start with the front of the hips, and our exercise of choice for the front of the hips is our elevated split squat. You can start on the ground. You can start with 3 inches or 6 inches. I'm starting with 12 today to show you, but I couldn't always do 12. Probably started with on the ground and worked my way up to 6 and then 12. Okay, so but look, we're trying to keep our body stacked here. We're trying to keep the core and the hips stacked and just be in a straight line. And we're working our body out right here. We're just working that line, keeping it straight, taking it through a range of motion that's gonna stretch it out, soften it, just give you more space. You can sit down in this position and just chill here and melt deep, or you can move, twist a little bit. The twisting just creates even more space, you know? You're working through these cobwebs, breaking down fascia, softening the muscles, activating muscles, and just getting better control of everything. You can also do this. Look, I compress and I back bend. This is where I'm allowing you to break form with the back bend. Usually I like to be compressed and have everything stacked, but this is nice because it's like cat and cows. You're compressing and then you're back bending. You're stretching that, you know, that line out that's going down your body, and it's just giving you more space. It's softening it and just making it more limber, you know how that works. And then you can also do the twist with the squat itself. It's more difficult, takes more coordination, but it creates more space. So I recommend it. You know, because you're getting the front of the hip still, but now you're like twisting. You're getting your side abs, you're getting your lower back on the sides, and you're just getting your body more life. And with more life, more control. With more control, there's more space. Okay, so increase the elevation. You can make things more difficult. So we went from 12, now we're at 18 inches, and we're repeating the same thing, going up and down, doing our twist. What this is doing is just softening the muscle, giving you more awareness of the muscle, strengthening the muscle. You know, this is like gray area in your body and you're giving it color. Okay, so look, we're still trying to keep our form straight up and down. Look at that. And then try the twist. As you progress and get higher in the height, keep doing the twist. More space, more power to you. Okay,
And once again, as you get better, you keep elevating. Now we're all the way at the 24 inches. You know damn well I couldn't do this at the start of my journey, but now we're here. This side is pretty good. You can see I'm pretty lined up right here. I'm not really arching. I do compress a little forward, and that gives me a little bit of help, but I think the form's pretty good. And then we can twist here again, practice the twist. And I recommend the twist. It's difficult, but like just more space, more power to you, like I said. This is my weak side. You can see I'm compromising to get down. It's like it's not as smooth, you know. Other joints in my body are moving and it's making it it's a bit more rough getting down there, you know. But that's okay, because that's why we're working it out. The more reps you do, the more it softens, the more it strengthens, the more control you have, and things free up. So we need to work on it. Let's try the twist on this side. Like you see how my hip is turning to the right. Everything's not staying straight up. There's compromises being made. You want to do these exercises with as little compromise as you can. We're falling over, tumbling, but that's why we do this, you know? But that's the front of the hips. Now we're going to move on to the outside of the hips, and we're going to do our elevated pigeon pose, okay? By the way, I should have said this already, but you don't need the stick. I like the stick because it stretches my shoulders out while I'm stretching my hips. So it kills two birds with one stone. I'm aligning my shoulders, my mid back, my lower back with my hips. It just strengthens and straightens that line. What we're doing here, elevated pigeon. I'm using the stick, like I said, getting everything aligned, and we compress our core and we come down. Head to shin, head to toes. That's a good goal. We got the elevation at like hip height, maybe a little above hip height, just right around it is a good place for me, but that's also difficult. You know, if you got to put it lower, you start lower. But we're compressing our core, trying to keep that line perfectly straight with the hips down to the legs. You know, starting from the shoulders to the mid back, to the, upper back, mid back, low back, to hips, to the hamstring, glutes, hamstring. We're trying to keep everything lined up. That's going to give you the best result because there's no twists in the line. There's no compromises in the line. You're just attacking that line that's going up and down your body and making it more elastic. Okay. You can also do this. This is not for the outer hip. This would be more for like the hamstring, but I'll show it to you anyway, because since you're in the position, if you just want to get some extra reps in with your legs straight, that's really good too. You won't regret that, But back to the elevated pigeon, you can also do this with a dumbbell, with some weight. What that's going to do is put extra load on the outside of your hips, and when you got that load on there, it's strengthening and it's lengthening. So it's nice. Then you can put the dumbbell down, grab onto it, pull yourself deeper into the stretch, which always feels nice, but you can also twist. It's better to twist this way. This twist right here feels amazing. And you're holding onto the dumbbell, giving you leverage, and you just get a nice twist in the outer hip, the core. Boom. Just showing you this side. We're doing the same thing with the dumbbell. You don't need the dumbbell. You don't need the stick. I don't use the dumbbells with this too often. I actually use the stick more. But I think you should use the dumbbell at least, because the dumbbell gives you that added resistance and makes it more of a loaded stretch. And with the loaded stretches, I feel like that's where the results are really at. So once again, grabbing the dumbbell for leverage, pulling yourself into the position, and then look at this. You can feel this through the screen. Just look at that. Ooh. It's just giving that hip space, giving those side abs space, giving your spine space in your body. Freedom. Good job. That's done with the outer hips. Now we're going to move to the back of the hips, which is essentially the hamstrings, okay? So what I've done here is we got 2 plates on the bottom because we need elevation. We're doing essentially like elevated Jefferson curls or elevated stiff leg deadlifts. I forget exactly what these are called, but you're doing this right here. Let's just say elevated Jefferson curl, okay? Because you want to keep that core in, compressed, and you want to come up and down and just strengthen that line that's going down your body, okay? Like I said, this is for the hamstring / back of the hips. You can get some half reps in here. They feel really good. Boom. You don't always have to come all the way back up, because when you keep that constant tension on it with the half reps, it feels really good too. And then what you can also do is like cat and cows here. It's like boom, cow, and then you can press and do the cat, and you just repeat. And you can see it. It's like you got this weight, you got this added resistance. You're going through these cat and cows, and it's just making that spine like, more elastic. It's just working into it, giving it some life, putting some movement into it, really training it, and it just gives you strength, space, length, all that good stuff. The last thing you need to know with this one, the way to elevate on this is you can just widen your grip, because with the more narrow grip, the easier it is to get all the way down. The distance is shorter, but if you widen your grip, as you can see, the distance to the plates, it's longer. Or I'm sorry, that sounds stupid, but you get what I'm saying. It's more difficult to get down there. So when it gets too easy, just widen your grip, and that's how you elevate and progress with this one and get better. Okay, so that one's really simple and easy. I like these. Boom. And last but not least, we're going to do the inner hips. You know what I'm saying? We all know how to do the butterfly stretch. I like to do it without the weights first, just kind of warm everything up. Then grab your weights. But the weights there, you can just chill and just sink in and let it, just stretch you out. But I would recommend that you get more active with it and try to bring your hips together, bring your knees together. Boom. Hold it, and then let the weight just, sink down and just let you melt into the position. And then just repeat, resist, work the muscles, fatigue them so they can just relax and rest. And you can melt into the position even more. And just sit here, breathe here. And just repeat that process and just chill. And that's how you get that good work for the inner hips. And there you have it. You've got the front of the hips, the back of the hips, the inside and the outside. You got everything. I just pick one exercise for each. We get better at them. We add more weight to them. And you just gotta grind it out. Reps, repetitions, repetitive. But after a while, you make really good change and progress. So let's do it, man.